to horse racing today. I am your host, Rich. Unfortunately, Charles, for whatever reason at the moment, having some difficulty getting in to the stream. As soon as he gets into himself into the green room, so to speak, in the Kentucky green room, make sure we bring him up. Before we get started today on Gulfstream Park, real quick, today's free track of the day is at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. It is Turf Paradise down there in Arizona. We didn't know they were going to be running this year, but they are. So we'll be running for free today as our free picks over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. You can get the link in the description below, and you'll see Lolo Machete Blue. That one is a best bet in the opener today at 3:35 p.m. Eastern. And they will run 300 yards on the dirt. So a quick dash to the finish line and hopefully a best bet winner in that respect. We're going to start race one at Gulfstream Park. This one is 1 mile and 70 yards on that all too famous Tapeta course that our good friend Charles, who's not here right now, would be telling you about how much he loves that track. This one's for maidens that are 3 years old, and the maiden claiming price here is $16,000 at 1 mile and 70 yards. Type of horse that typically wins down there in, what is it, Hollandale, Florida. It's kind of, when you come off the highway, not the better, one of the better neighborhoods, but the track is really nice if you want to go have like a nice day of shopping, food, entertainment, poker, gambling, and then horse racing. Just all degeneracy. Spend your money no matter whether you're buying stuff or you're trying to gamble. But anyhow, at 1 mile and 70 yards on that all-weather track, tactical speed does good. 1 out of 5 actually goes wire to wire. The rail, it's been fair, so Uptown Cat should get a pretty decent trip. 2 and 3 get a little bit of a bonus. 4 through 7, a small penalty. And if you happen to be unfortunate and where an 8 were out, it's a big, big penalty. If you're new to us, we do 1,000 simulations using speed figures to calculate out which horses might run the top speed figure in this race. And with that, we create our own odds. So we're looking for simulation odds where the horse has hopefully post-time odds that are higher than our simulation odds. So right now, the 2 horse looks like one of the favorites along with the 4. Look at that 4, a big overlay from 10 to 1 all the way down to about 6 to 5. We also do what we call par plus here. And we take those simulations, we look at and record the score that the simulation does and see what percent of the time actually comes in above par for this level. That's 71. So 21% of or 20% of the time in our simulations, Nipsey ran better than that in terms of its generated par or speed figure. We take a look at which horses might be on the lead using pace numbers. Here we see in 1,000 simulations, it does look like the 3 and the 4. They're going to get after it when the gates open and the Tapeta goes a-flying. And based upon our projected fractions in pace, we create a proprietary score unique to our show called C-Zone or Comfort Zone. This looks back at their prior races, looks at the fractions and the pace numbers, and see how closely today's projected pace matches their better performance, hence Comfort Zone. And we see here that the 6 horse, Miss Athletic, should be the one that finds our projected pace to be most comfortable to its best output. Looking at also pace handicapping, the 6 horse is a loanee, wants to be on the front. Everybody else so far hasn't been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. So if the 6 can get to the front, could have its way with this short field. Looking at that, we see that, the 3, 4, and 6, they're really going to get out and get after it. That 4 horse, the one we saw with the big overlay and the strongest chance to go par plus, also has the best late pace in here. That 4 horse, Nipsey, might prove to be a heck of a play in here because it also scores our top total pace horse. It's like 19 points clear of the next closest horse, A Place for Mom. That's a big gap from number 1 to number 2. Charles not here. I don't know when he'll join us. Hopefully soon. He's got the 2 as his top pick, the 1, and then the 3 and the 4. I don't have his notes to share his reasoning, but I do have the 2 horses my top selection. Maybe should have made it the 4 based upon what we saw in the pre-race prep there. But A Place for Mom, the reason I gave it the nod over the 4, this one's taking a big maiden special weight drop in here into the maiden claiming 16. About as big as drop as you can take And last time out, off that drop, ran the top last race speed figure. It was a handful of points, 5, clear of the next closest horse. Anytime you're 3 or better on that last race speed figure, usually translates into a great performance. Is one of the things that Andrew Beyer in his book wrote about. Number 4, Nipsey. We talked about all the reasons why that one should perform well. Has that top total pace way above everybody else. And it's going to make its second career start. And if it has its typical second career start improvement, a lot of horses show, that could be enough to take out that 2 horse on the maiden special weight drop. The 3 horse, Bury the Lead, my third choice. Another one of those that's making the biggest class drop in horse racing from the maiden special weight ranks. Going to drop in the second career start and does have first time Lasix, which should give it a little bit more endurance and some decent workouts between races. Again, in my race notes, I'm noticing over and over and over again, a lot of the winners did have a workout between races. And then finally, Miss Athletic, the 6 horse. This one at times can show some early speed. We did see that when it does show some early speed, it is a low knee tight. Get out to the front all by itself. Its courage could grow, and she could find her way into the winner's circle. Now, I'm going to do a pick 5. I probably should put the 4 in there too, but we only have a $100 budget. I'm going to go 2 over the 1, 2, 8, 10, over the 2, 5, over the 1, over the 2, 4, 5, and 6. Still no Charles yet. Richard De La Torre, thank you for the thumbs up on Facebook. Greatly appreciate that. See, right now, we got no minutes to the first race at Gulfstream Park. They are crossing over from the main course over the turf into the Tapeta course. So hopefully, momentarily, they'll get themselves onto the grass course and ready to go. If you haven't done so yet, kindly, like Richard De Toro, if you haven't done so yet, follow us on our social sites. You do see them streaming down there below on YouTube. We are Horse Racing Radar TV. Hit the subscribe button while you're here. There is a share button. Kindly hit that share button. Copy that link and post it in your social site to share it with your friends who like horse racing or are just general degenerates like the rest of us gamblers. In any case, do that. We appreciate it. And then Sean, our Swiss Army Sean, does a great job of putting up some fun content on Facebook, on Instagram, on X, otherwise known as Twitter, over at Horse Racing, the number 2, and Horse Race, the number 2 day. So Horse Race today. Let's look at race 1 right now as they're starting to load into the gates. We have the 2 horse. Oh, there you go. Big 1-5 favorite on that maiden special weight drop. So a lot of people are going to single that one in their pick 5, as I did. Should have probably tossed it out and put the 4 in there instead because you're going to get a bigger payout. But you don't get anything paid out if your horse doesn't win. The 3 horse is the second favorite at 5-1, also a maiden special weight dropper. Then there comes that 7, and then the 1. They're all lined up. They're ready to go in race number 1. The great Peter Aiello about to make the call. Pete's a really good guy. If you're ever down there at the Gulfstream Park course down near Miami, and you head out in there, go say hello to Pete. He's a real wonderful dude. And then they're off and running, and right now the 6 horse has galloped out to the lead, pretty aggressively got to the lead, cleared the whole field pretty easily, got down to the rail. You have the favorite, the 2 horse, on the rail, right now running about a length off of the 6 horse. The 3 horse is in the co-pilot position, and then the 4 horse 3 wide with the 1. So from the nose of the 6, which leads to the tail of the 4, which is currently in last of 5, you're looking probably around 5 lengths. They go through the opening quarter in a pedestrian 25.06 seconds. 6 horse continues to take the lead. The 3 horse is now making a move. The 2 horse in this wonderful view, this head-on view that they give you at Gulfstream Park, we have no idea what's going on, has got itself into contention. The whole field kind of condensing a little bit. 2 horse at that 1-5 could find himself in a tough spot because he's got horses out to its outside, the 6 on the rail. Going to have to wait for a lane to open up. The 3 horse has moved up alongside the 6 horse now, continues to hold the lead, 49-7 through the opening half. I'm going to say that the 1 horse's trip is probably done. He's really fighting to get that horse to run. 2 horse has got a nice hold on him. He's now moved inside the 3 horse. The 6 horse continues to hold the lead. But that lane did open up for that 1-5-2. The jockey right on there, just asking him to go. Horse is now opening up, hand riding this horse to the finish line, and he's going to win Secretariat style by as many lengths as he wants. That big maiden special weight drop, 1-5. Jockey never asks for anything. It looks like the 1 came in second, then the 3 third. The 4 horse, that one there, didn't fire. Came home a distant last place. So at 1-9, the 2 horse is your opener at Gulfstream Park. Hopefully, you bet your life savings on that one. Race number 1, like the 2 to win place with the 6 and the 3. I think the 3 came in third. I think the 1 ended up first. Good to see you again, man. How have you been? I know we've been gone for the last couple of weeks, couple of cancellations. I got the vid. And Terry couldn't fill in for me at the last moment. No idea what's going to happen with Charles. I'm guessing that he still can't get in for whatever reason. I don't know. So hopefully he does join us at some point. If not, well, that's just me, folks. Race number 2 is what I will cover next. If you have any comments, like Christopher D'Souza or Richard De La Torre, got any picks, help me out, man. Put some stuff over there in the comments section for me. It'd be greatly appreciated. In race 2, they will travel 7.5 furlongs. They're going to do it on the turf course. Another maiden claiming race, this one for $35,000. One's for maidens that are 3 years old and up. On 7.5 furlongs. They are going to run on it today. Horse is listed as firm. Stalkers have done pretty well. 14% of the time, the winner did go gate to wire. Or is it wire to wire? I see sometimes on like Twitter, you see these really kind of dumb arguments. Is it wire to wire? Is it gate to wire? Who cares? We have a creative license. Call it what you want. There's a strong rail bias, so Ziano might be able to benefit from that. 2 and 3, pretty big penalties, so kind of maybe stay away from those. 4 and out, there is a bonus outside to inside. So the farther you are from 4, the better off you are. In race number 2, let's take a look at our simulations here. What we find is that the 1 horse, Ziano, good shot to get on the lead, according to our simulations, about 47%. But a lot of other people checking in here, so it could be a pretty contentious start. This one out here, what's that? I don't even Kaku, Abario? I'm not sure. That one also should be in contention for the lead. But unlike the 6 in that first race, a lot of inside speed to clear. So it could be a little bit of a difficult task. Looking at the C zone in here, Zano, even though it's going to get to the lead, might really like that lead. Very comfortable up on the front. Should become more courageous as the race goes on. Simulation odds got a big overlay perhaps. And we got this, the 4 horse also. Pretty good par plus score for that horse. So maybe put the 4 in there as a long shot to increase the payouts of your exactas, trifectas. Dixie Peach, this one also a big overlay with the good par plus. I just heard that ding, so I'm guessing our good friend Charles is joining us. Let's see his beautiful face. There it is. Hello, Charles. How are you, my man? Can you hear me?
All right. Well, I'm on another computer.
All right. But can you hear me all right?
I'm on a total different computer.
Can you hear me? All right, good, because I'm asking you a question you're not acknowledging. No, we got problems. All right. So, Charles, I went through race number 2 in terms of what all the data says, and then let's take a look at the race shape here. Well, the 9's making its first trip in Fight Till Dawn. Not quite sure what that'll bring. The 4, 5, and 6, the middle horses, so far, haven't been within 5 lengths of the winner when the race was over. Pretty balanced for the other ones that are in here experience-wise. The 1 horse, that one that we saw should get the lead, is a lone P horse, so should get a pretty good trip. Taking a look at the early speed, again, the 6 horse could clear. Pretty good advantage over everybody else, about 12 points, so that's about a length, 2.5 length lead. Late speed, the 10 horse, along with the 2 and the 7, they'll be coming pretty aggressively at the end, but some pretty good distribution there. A lot of horses with late legs could arrive as the race is coming to an end. We see 3 here that are a little bit better than everybody else in terms of total pace, the 2, the 6, and the 10. All right, Charles, for the first time today, share with us what you think is going to happen. Can you hear me, my man?
Okay, here in race number 2. I like the 1. The 1. Yeah, you can't hear me?
Very accurate.
Can you hear me? Or not?
I can hear you, but you're on a little bit of delay. I'm sorry. Can you hear me? I just didn't put my microphone in front of me. That's why, because busy trying to do other
okay.
things. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Charles.
All right. Okay. I like the number 1 here. I ran second last 2 times. Well bet last time out. First time Lasix back on the turf today. You got Irad board. The horse has got tax. The 2 is my second choice. Drops in class. Has some speed in this race. Hot jockey trainer combo in the last 14 days. Second start after a layoff. Trainer gets 20% with that angle. And then the 7 is my third choice here. Ran even, got a hot jockey last 7 days. Tactical speed, totally fits with this group. And then finally, my last horse here, the 10. I think this horse has got some speed to go to the front. Drops in class. You got Jose Ortiz aboard. But I'm going to start my pick 4 here with my top 2 picks. Going with my top 3 picks in the second leg. Same thing with the third and fourth and final leg.
So that's 10 horse. What is that? Casacua Barrio? Kakakua Barrio? I'm not sure. Hopefully somebody in the comment section can spell that out for us phonetically. I like the 1 horse is my top selection in here too. Charles, it's funny today. My picks go 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, and then all 2s the rest of the day. Anyway, Ziano, the one time that this horse ran on the turf, it was its best race ever. Today, you're going to get Irad Ortiz on there. So you know if he gets the lead, Charles, and we think you got a good shot to get to the lead, you're going to have to run, 7 lengths away from that horse to pass it. Does have a couple of nice works in between races. Again, but finding that workout between races and dropping class, they're helping me help find a lot of winners. Super Crunchy, the 2 horse, drops in class, is going to try turf for the first time in its career. You got Paco Lopez. So it'll be fun if those 2 are up on the lead to see who can bump who the most. This one also has a bullet and go workout. So the last workout coming to the race today, horse is absolutely sharp. The 10 horse, Casacue or Kakacue, I don't know, a Barrio. I know how the Barrio part is right. That one is the third choice. This one is also class dropper. Charles, probably the most consistent performer in the field. I think the switch to Jose Ortiz could help this horse get out of the gate a little bit quicker. And I think if it gets off to a little better start, we'll have a better finish. And then finally, the Dixie Preach, the 8 horse. This one's going to make its second career start right there. Second start after a layoff, excuse me. The only other time the horse made a second start after his layoff was the race after its debut. Giant pop in performance from race 1 to race 2. If that pattern continues right here, this one could go pop and at a price, Mr. Charles. I'm going to do a trifecta because I'm already into the pick 5 with that single on the 2. 1, 2, 10 with the 1, 2, 10 with the 1, 2, 7, 8, and 10 for my trifecta in race number 2. Thank you, Philip Perkins and Luis Garcia, for joining Richard De La Toya. The thumbs up on Facebook. If you like what you see, kindly hit the subscribe button, share our content, give us thumbs up on Facebook and YouTube, and retweet on Twitter. I don't know what the thing is on Instagram, to be honest with you, on how you can improve your algorithms there. I have to read into that one. Race 3, Charles, is what you and I are going to do next. I gave out the conditions for the first 2. Your turn. Maybe.
Okay, it's a mile and 70 yards. Claiming price 16,000. Purse is 32,000. This is for 3-year-olds.
Race 3. That was race 1.
I just said it all.
But that was race 1 that you gave us. This is race 3.
No, I just said race 3.
Race 3 is 6 furlongs. You said a mile and 70 yards. Maybe I'm hallucinating. I don't know.
Oh, you know what I did is I pulled up tomorrow's races. That's what I did.
All right. So I'll do it real quick. Race 6 furlongs. Claiming 6,250 non-winners of 3, 4-year-olds and up. You've never won 3 races. Pretty simple stuff there.
In race number 3, it's funny because I know why Charles pulled up today because I just sent it to him for tomorrow. 6 Furlongs got some early speed. 39% of the time they go wire to wire. There's a slight inside to outside bias from post 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Big time penalty, Charles, if you wear an 8 or out. I don't think that's going to come into play in race number 3. So we only have 6 horses in the field. Speed does matter here, Charles, on that dirt course, and it looks like one of them's really fast.
Yeah, the 4 looks like it has the best chance. No, actually, the 2 has the best chance, a 55% chance of getting that lead, and probably most likely so. But look out for that 4 to have a say in this race. When it comes to simulation odds, we have just this
Really
nothing. They got scratched.
Yeah, indeed. And also the only Par Plus got scratched out of there. And Comfort Zone, it does look like that 6 horse, folks, should be the one, according to our pace projections, should be the one that finds this race the most liking. In the 3rd race, pace set up here, most of them want to be forwardly placed, middle to forward. So if the 6 does get a good hot pace up here as a closer, could find its way into there. Does look to me, though, like the 2 has a pretty aggressive early race advantage like we saw in the simulations. 7 points, that's approximately a length and a half. Only has to clear the 1. So if you can clear the 1 and do so with ease, maybe you can get away with some light fractions. All right in there with the late pace as well, Charles, but not as much as Major King. Top total pace horse does go to that 2 horse, Golden Skull. Won 6 points. So if this race goes according to plan, the 2 gets up to the front, stays up in the front. Maybe horses make up a little bit of ground on it at the end, but still manages to win by about a length. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I like the 3. This horse ran 3rd last time, cuts back in distance. This horse has some of that tactical speed to sit there 3rd or 4th. Totally fits with this group. The 5 is my second choice here. Drops in class, second start after a layoff. The trainer gets 11% with that angle. This horse is another one that with some tactical speed to sit there 3rd or 4th. This one gets IRAD, though. This is the plus for that horse. The 6 is my 3rd choice. This horse ran even. They're adding the blinkers today. Trainer gets 13% with that angle. Totally looks like it fits with this group, and it should be right there in the thick of things, especially with the blinkers added. And then the 2, probably definitely one of the speed horses here. If you toss out the lookout, this horse drops in class. It's got Tyler Gaffney on aboard.
Tyler G still owing me a lot of money. I promised him I wouldn't bet him on top if he shared with me 10% of his winnings. And so, he hasn't shared with me. So I'm going to put him on top again. Golden Skull, consistent performer, going to switch back to the dirt where he excelled. And as we mentioned, I think this one might have a little bit too much early pace advantage at a distance where almost 40% go wire to wire. One more score, the 5 horse getting the second call from me right in here. Class drop, workout between races. Again, I mentioned in my notes, I'm seeing that over and over and over again. And the third piece to this one is going to switch to IRAD. And, IRAD on Saturday when they had the big day down there for the Pegasus, just crushed it. Another big weekend coming up, too, at Gulfstream Park. You have the Holy Bull. And I think last year, Charles, Terry and I talked about this yesterday. I think the Forte and Mage, if I remember correctly, ran in the Holy Bull last year. So maybe your Kentucky Derby winner will show itself on Saturday. Double Play King, this 6 horse, third play for me, just like you, Charles. Showed a little more early speed in his last race. And I think cutting back from a mile to 6 furlongs will be helpful. Then finally, Major King, the 3 horse, Charles's top pick. Third start after a layoff. Charles' favorite handicapping angle in there. Really likes the distance. 3 times out. Finished second in all of them. So maybe I should have put that one in there at second instead. I'm going to go to trifecta 2-5, 2-5-6, and then all. 2-5-6 all for my trifecta in race number 3. Race 4, Charles, on today's card is what?
Okay. Yeah, I know today's card. 7 furlongs. 7 furlongs, maiden claimer, 16,000. Purse is 24,000. This is for fillies, 3-year-olds.
Pretty basic stuff going on today at the tracks. At 7 furlongs, going to look for early speed again. 1 out of 3 horses goes gate to wire or wire to wire. Takes them from the beginning to the end there, right into the winner's circle there. Get a little bit of a rail bonus for Fantina. Well, maybe gets to the lead. Look out. Might not catch that one right there. 2 and 3 play fair. 4 through 7, a little bit of a discount. 8 and out has been the best place to be, Charles. So speed on the inside, speed on the outside in race number 4. And it looks like, well, there's a trio of them that look like they could duke it out.
Yeah, we got the 4 horse at 35% chance of getting that lead at the quarter pole. But, you got to look out for the 2 and the 7. Both have some really good speed. And, probably the 7, you really got to look out for it because it's got a weight break on that horse. So when it comes to simulation odds, they all look right where they should be, except for the 5. Look at that. Look at just under 4 to 1. And it's 15 to 1 morning line. And then the 7 itself at 2 to 1 and 4.5 to 1 morning line.
Yeah, and you got a trio of par plus horses in here. You got the 1, the 5, and the 6. Those horses doing pretty well. And then C-zone wise, yeah, really none of them all that comfortable. 34% chance, 36% chance is the highest. So these horses will be put to the test today, according to our projected pace. Race shape, again, Charles, 2, 3, and 4. They have not been within 5 lengths of the winner so far. Of the horses that have shown some interest in winning, it's pretty good balanced race there. The 6, Lone E, 5, Lone Closer, the 1 and the 7 in the middle. Early on, it does look like the 2 and the 4, your 2 never close types. They're going to get out there early on, Charles, and give it a whirl. Looks like the 4 horse will have to find some more late race stamina, but pretty much all of them in a pretty tight window here, except for the 5. In the end, the 5 horse does look like it'll be one of the horses coming the quickest, but that 6 horse up on the lead, close to it, with a pretty solid late speed as well, does make that your top total pace contender. Right behind it, you have the 2 and the 7, a little bit of a drop off after the 1 horse. So again, just looking at our preliminary data in the top 4, somewhere around close to 70% of the time, the winner in top total pace is in the top 4. Charles, who's in your top 4?
Well, I like the 6 as my top choice. This horse has that tactical speed. 3rd start after a layoff. Trainer gets 25% with that angle. Plus, that trainer also gets 19% first after a claim. And, of course, we got Paco aboard. Makes him very dangerous. Then the 1 is my second choice. Ran second last time. Second start with Lasix. This horse has got that tactical speed to sit there 3rd or 4th. Luis Saez is aboard. Look out. And then the 7, one of the speed horses here, ran second last time out. First time Lasix today, though. Trainer gets 19% with that angle. Look out. And you got a hot trainer last 14 days. Like I said, you got 7 pounds off of this horse. So look out. And then the 3 is my final pick here. It drops in class. The trainer gets 30% when he drops them down 2 levels or more. Totally fits with this group. But I'm going to go with a daily double with my 6 to the 2 in the next race.
And Christopher D'Souza says, forget everything Charles and Richard talked about. I like the 2 horse in there with the 5, Umbrella, and the 7, Platinum Rocker. Almost all rockers platinum now, Charles. And then in terms of hair color, not in terms of record sales. And then in race 2 coming up, Christopher D'Souza
almost all of
liking the 2 with the 2, the 5, and the 9. I'm going to go with the 1 horse here. Again, I told you I go, 2, 1, 2, 1, and then all 2s all the way down the card today. Kind of interesting when I saw that when I punched it in. In race 4 with the 1 horse, Fantina. Well, this one last time ran a speed figure that was 11 points clear of everybody else. That's a pretty big gap. Means the rest of the field's got to catch up or that one's got to regress. I think it's more likely that one regresses a little bit, but still would have to regress a lot, especially since in the last race, all of the pace numbers were better from the beginning to the middle to the end. And when I see that, more often than not, the next race is a solid one too. The 6 horse, Castellana, second choice for me. Third start after a layoff. Charles is handicapping angle right there. And last time out in race number 2 showed some improvement by holding on to its speed deeper into the race. Number 7, Platinum Rocker. This one also has some early speed in there, Charles, as we see in our simulations. But it's going to get first-time Lasix in here. Speed and Lasix been a winning combination for me when you're going through the past performances and you see that dark L, the bold L for the first time, and then you saw speed and fade. Watch out. That combination wins a lot. And then finally, number 5, Umbral. This one's a big overlay according to our simulated odds, so we'll put that in there. And also one of the 3 that has a chance to go par plus. And again, par plus simply means that when we did our simulations, the 5 horse has a 14% chance, or 140 times out of 1,000, ran a speed figure above or equal to 75. I'm going to do a trifecta 1-6 with the 1-6-7 with the 1, 3, 5, 6, and 7 in race number 4. Race number 5, it looks like we have plenty of time. We probably have time to do 2 races because they take their time in Gulfstream Park to get to the gates. So, Charles, while they do that, tell us about race 5.
Yeah, they do. In race number 5, we have a mile and a 16th on the turf. Option claiming of 25,000. Non-winners of 1. Purse is 91,000. This is for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 12,000 once, other than maiden, claiming, starter, restricted, or which have never won 2 races or a claiming price of 25,000.
I want to add Mustafa Mastfa and Rosemary Omoro to the list of thumbs up. Thank you. If, like those smart pair, you agree with what you see, again, hit the share button on YouTube, copy that, put that in your social sites, and also more thumbs up on YouTube and on Facebook and retweets on Twitter. That helps us with their algorithm. So when people go out and then search for horse racing, because you like what you see and you've made a conscious effort to show it with a thumbs up or a comment or a share, it helps us with the algorithm. So when other people search, they're more likely to find us. So we greatly appreciate that. At a mile and a 16th on that turf course, Charles, stalkers have done well. 1 out of 10, or 10%. They managed to get to the lead and never give it up. Rail penalty for Rosebud's Hope. And then 2 and 3 get a little bit of a bonus. 4 through 7 play fair, and 8 and out get penalized. So a little bit of an accordion effect right there. Charles, in race number 5, tell us all about who's going to get to the lead.
I think there's plenty of speed in here. The 5 at 34% chance of getting the lead. But you know what? I like the way that horse even closes. So I'm probably thinking there's going to be another leader out there, possibly the 8, even the 10. When it comes to simulation odds, we have the 4 at 2 to 1, just slightly over 2 to 1, and we have 10 to 1 morning line, and then we have look at the 12, 10 to 1, and a 30 to 1 morning line.
Got a pair in the middle here too. That 4-horse Pocky, that big overlay. Small chance to go over the par figure according to our simulations, along with Party On Girl instead of Party On Garth. As far as our C-zone, a lot of them look like they have a pretty good shot to like what they're going to see here today. Texas Shuffle might find the fractions and the speed of this race to be ideal for its best performances to date. Our pace shape, as far as this race is concerned, Charles, look at this. All but 1 horse want to be middle back. If that 5-horse Party On Girl can get the lead, especially since you said you like its closing ability, could get to the lead and make it very difficult for the rest of the horses to catch up. And looking at that, Party Girl does look like it'll be on the lead, but again, all of them within 9 points of one another. That means a misstep, a little bit of a slow start, could be the difference between being worst or first at the quarter-mile marker. Late speed when the race is coming home. Excellent question. It's got an 8-point advantage over everybody else. Really not going to be all that far out of the mix right here. So if that one can get good positioning, not forced to run 7-8 wide through the turn, that late leg ability should give that horse a real solid chance to be in the winner's circle. Our top total pace horse is indeed Excellent Question. It in our Dotsy. They're about 5 points clear of all the rest. So according to total pace, the 6 and the 10 should duke it out for first and second, and then everybody else about a length behind there. Charles, and you have the 10, I have the 6. They're both buried in our picks, so we better hope top total pace is wrong.
Well, I mean, I like the 2 overall. This horse won last time out. I think this horse has got the best chance because of where it's going to be sitting in the race, most likely about 4th. Tactical, well bet last time. Brown gets 24% with 46 plus days. Then there's that 5. Now, the 5 I had a problem with. I was between the 5 and the 10, who I was going to have second. But the 5, you got to toss out its last race. This one has a little bit more speed than closing, but I really like the way this horse closes. If you go back on some of the races, it does a very good job. Brown gets 26% with 90 plus days of rest. You got Irad aboard, so he's going to probably keep this horse pretty close, if not on the lead. And then the 10, another one that has some speed, but has that tactical closing speed also. The trainer gets 13 for 46 plus days of rest. You got Luis Saez aboard, totally fits this group. And then their 9 is my final choice here. Ran second last time. Trainer gets 13% with 46 plus days. Really will be in the mix.
I'm going to go off with the 2 horses, Delahaye as well as the top choice. Same fractions last time out at 1 mile and a 16th as it ran in 7 furlongs in its November 5th maiden win. A bunch of workouts prepping for today. If it comes back just as sharp, could be a difficult one to top. Pocky, the 4 horse, big overlay we see right in there, Mr. Charles. Ran this distance twice, won both of them. Gulfstream Park, 4 times out on the grass, 2 wins, a second and a third. And that January 13th work has had 3 works since this last race. Fastest of 175. I mean, I don't care what you're doing. If you're running up against the other 175 horses and you put the best one out there, the other ones were lackadaisical or you put in a good work. Party On Girl, the 5 horse. If that one can run back to its May 7th Belmont Stakes Park run, it would be a Belmont Park, not the Stakes Park. But anyway, it would be a very easy win. And of course, you got Irad, you got Chad Brown, dynamic East Coast duo. And I'm going to go with the 6 horse in here, Charles. For me, Excellent Question. Was a tough call between it and the 9. The one thing I've been noticing watching the Gulfstream Park meet is that Ocean Murphy, who came over from England, they got all that great turf experience over there. This guy's always finding his way into the money on the grass. Hell of a grass rider. So don't sleep on Ocean. 245, 245 over 2, 4, 5, 6, and 9. And looking at Christopher D'Souza, he's got an exacta trifecta box using the 4, 5, and 6. So we're once in a while, Christopher and I are in agreement. Let's go back to race number 2. As they are now loading in to the gates. The 2 and the 1 are co-favorites, Zino and Super Crunchy. And then next up on the odds board, looks like the 10 at 5-1. You have the 7 at 6-1, the 8 at 9-1. Everybody else right now clicking in double digits. The 2 at the moment looks like it's the slight favorite in there, Super Crunchy over Zino. Let's see, the 4 horses in. Got a few more to load in there, Mr. Charles. According to our simulations, it does look like the 1 horse on the rail in the 10, Casacu Abario, should be duking it out. I've got to give the inside the advantage when the gates open and the grass starts flying. They're all lined up. The baritone of, I don't know if it's baritone, but that's going to be the only one I know, of Peter Aiello is about to announce the race. And as expected, the 1 horse did, it's comfortably out to the front on the lead, but that 6 horse in there, Charles, Ghetto, is getting after it, going through the turn. Could be a tough trip for the 10 horse, Mr. Charles. That guy's had to go 3 wide through the turn. One horse not on the lead right now. The 10 horse has found its way into second, just cleared the 4 so it can kind of come down a little bit and try to save a little bit of ground. I do find that horses that go 3 wide through the first turn, they do tend to struggle a little bit late in races. So that horse will have to put in a great effort. The 6 horse, Gyro, at 25-1, continues to hold the lead. The 10 horse keeping it to task, but the 10 horse is running like 4 wide right now down the backstretch. He's going to have to kind of close that in a little bit because he's going to open up some space. The 2 horse, Mr. Charles, has found its way into the mix, but he's had to check up there a little bit. I don't know why he had to check up. The 1 horse is off to the outside there as they go through the opening half in 48 and 43, a little quick. 1 horse that looks like it's making a pretty aggressive move is the 4 horse. We got this on the outside. 2 horse kind of hanging in there. They come through the stretch, down the stretch. They come. That 10 horse, despite having to run really wide, really starting to open up on these guys a little bit. The 2 and the 1 are trying to find their stride. It might not get there, Charles. That 10 horse, even though it went 3 wide through that opening turn, ran an excellent race. 10-2-8. 10-2-8. Not quite sure. I think the 1 might have finished in there first. So I have 10-2, and it looks like
10 was
8,
by far the best horse in that race.
Yeah, he won easily. 10-2-8. Looks like I got the trifecta in there, Mr. Charles. But did I put him in my did I put him in? I think I put all 4 in my pick 4. Yes, pick 5. So I'm still alive through the pick 5. Beautiful. 10-2-8. And I'm not quite sure who finished in there for third. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it was 10-2-8. But who finished 4th? I can't tell you. They have the number in there. Yeah, 10-2-8-1. 10-2-8-1. That is your order for race number 2. So the 10 goes off at 5-1. The 2 goes off at 2-1, and then the 8 at 10-1. So hopefully I got a nice little trifecta there, Charles. We're going to do
we'll
what
see
race
it.
now? Go ahead. What are you going to say?
We are on the 6th race here, and this race is for 1 mile and a 16th, all weather, claiming price of $10,000, purse is $26,000. This is for 4-year-olds and upward.
Yes, indeed. And at 1 mile on the favorite surface of our good friend Charles, the Tapita, stalkers do good 13% of the time. So about a fair amount go wire to wire. There is a little bit of a rail penalty for Peja Du and jockey Paco Lopez. 2 and 3, those 2 play to average or fair. 4 through 7 get a little bonus. 8 and out, get penalized. Charles' tactical speed is probably the right way to go in race number 6. And in this race, according to our stuff, everybody's got some chance to get the lead.
Yeah, I mean, they all got a pretty good chance getting the lead. But this one, probably most likely is going to be the 8 is going to get the lead. I think that's the speed of the whole race, but there is a couple other horses that might keep this horse in check, like the 7 and the 1. When it comes to simulation odds, we have the 2 at even money, and we have 6-1 morning line, and that's all we got. Everything else is right on the money or overlays.
Yeah, and the 2 horse and the 8 horse also scoring out as horses that do have a strong par plus. The 2 horse in near Charles, along with that strong par plus, really robust C-zone. So maybe a little good value in pound green in race number 6. Our 6th race in terms of the pace setup. Yeah, most want to be middle back, Charles. That means the 7 horse in here, Officer Country, could be Loney if it can get to the lead. Its courage could grow, but looks like it'll really have to come out of there faster than it really wants to in terms of its early pace. So I think if the 7 did get the lead, very strong likelihood it would tire. The 1 and the 8, they're much quicker than everybody else. Again, you should see the 1 horse then get that lead if it wants to. See the 1 do that in that last race there. Late speed, Pound to Green, the 2, along with Tis a Prince and See My Meester, whatever. Those 2 or 3 should be coming the hardest at the end. And on the top here, you got 4 horses, the 1, 2, 6, and 8, really close to each other for that top total pace honors. But again, this is a race where all of them, except for the 4, are pretty close to each other. So a misstep, bad trip, that sort of thing could be the difference between being maybe 7th or being 1st. Charles, we both think, well, you got the 8 horse in here. Tell me why Grand Soleil is going to be the grand winner.
Well, I think it's the speed. I think this horse is going to put itself right out in front and probably not look back. Trainer gets 25% first after a claim. This horse has been hot at the claim box in the past year 5 times. I mean, this horse is ready to rock and roll. The 4 is my second choice. Ran 3rd last time, drops in class. This horse will be closing. Totally fits this class. And then the 1, another horse that has a little speed. I think this one will be sitting second. This horse won last time out. Paco's aboard, so it makes it very dangerous. And then the 2 won last time also. Trainer gets 11%, 46 plus days of rest. This horse has got a little bit more of a late kick than anything that makes it a little dangerous. But I'm going to do a pick 4 with my top 4 picks in this race. Top 2 picks in the second leg. Then I'm going top 3 picks in the third and the fourth and final leg.
Did you intend to have your top 4 picks there? Because you only have your 3 in here. So should we add the 2?
No, I have top 3 picks. I'm sorry.
Okay. No worries. Just want to make sure we got that right. The 2 horse there, that second race, that trifecta, that one there paid $131 for 50 cents. That's a pretty good one considering you had, well, if you had 2 of the favorites finish 1, 2, I guess the one running 3rd really boosted the 4th, boosted those payouts with the 8 coming home 3rd. I like the 2 horse in the 7th race. I think that's where we are right now, right, Mr. Charles? Race 6. I'm sorry. Race 6, the 2 horse. I have Pound Green. All of his W's came on the all-weather track there, Mr. Charles. That's where they're running today. Ran on it 22 times and won 6 of them. He's got 4 really solid workouts between races and back to his preferred surface. Let's see if he can make it another win on the Tapeta. Grand Soleil, the Ocho, won its last 2 times that the horse came off the bench from a little bit of rest back to work. And all 3 wins that this horse has come in 8 races at the distance of 1 mile and a 16th. The 4 horse, Win 99, just missed in its last race, going to drop in class, and does have that all-important maintenance workout to keep the saw sharp between races. And then finally, the 1, Pejadu, it's the 4th, moving up in class, went wire to wire in its first all-weather track on the route, same track, same distance. I'm a little concerned, though, about the class hike. It took a long time to get that win. Doesn't really go back-to-back with the W's. We'll see if it can do it here. I did a pick 4, too. I went 3 horses, 2-4-8, 2-4, 2-4-7, and then 2-9 on the back end. Race number 7, 3 races to go. Mr. Charles, clue us in on what they're running for.
Yeah, it's 1 mile and 16th. This is the maiden for a purse of $89,000. This is pretty simple. This is just for 3-year-olds.
Makes it really easy. 1 mile and a 16th on the turf course. We also find really simple to win. Early speed in the 6 races have done well, but none of them have been on the lead. Most of them either took the co-pilot or the, I don't know, what do you call the 3rd person, but he ran 2nd or 3rd. Most of them have been co-pilots. A little bit of a rail bonus for Skip, for the Big Rich, the best name in all of horse racing today and all the races. 2 and 7 play fair. So far, nobody from 8 or out has won, Charles, but there's not that many horses in this race. There's only 6 with a couple scratches, and one of them with the greatest name ever is going to be on the lead, it looks like.
It's going to be on the lead, but the question is, can he hang on? 77% chance has a chance of being on the lead. Most likely that'll be true. We'll see. And then when it comes to simulation odds, we have the 7 at just slightly over even money, and we have 4 to 1 morning line on that horse. So that's all we have on overlays.
Yeah, and the 7, the only one grading out with a shot to go par plus. Also, most likely to get the best pace. But again, a lot of these horses are lightly raced. So some of those simulations, there's a lot of margin of error, the lesser the number of inputs. As far as the way the race shapes, how people want to be in their best races, Charles. So far, the 1 and 3 and the 6 have not been close. The 2 and the 4, they've proven they want to come from off the pace. The 7 has shown a little bit of versatility in its game so far, Charles. When the gates open, Big Rich, that's the name we want to talk about there, should be up front. Princetown, where Big Rich comes from. Those two should be on the lead. No question about it early on. They might just burn each other out, though, because they both struggle with late pace in there. So fast twitch horses, not the slow twitch endurance types. Tucson Gold with the most late speed, but you got a quartet of them here, all within the same ballpark of each other. Our top total pace horse does go to Modica. The 4 horse, pretty tight between the 2, the 7, and the 4. Maybe that's your exact trifecta combo. Charles, what's your pick?
Okay, well, since we're on such a delay between each other, I can't rip on you too much. But I'm going to say one thing. The 1 will not hit the board. I will say that. The 2 is my first choice. Ran second last time, second start after a layoff. Todd gets 25% with that angle. IRAD's aboard. And then the 3 is my second choice. You add the blinkers today. This horse ran even last time, so it does probably most likely need blinkers. Back on the dirt today, Weaver gets 19% with first-time blinkers. And then the 7 is my third choice here. This horse is very dangerous. It ran even last time. Brown gets 25% first-time Lasix, plus he gets 24% on the second time they run a race. And then the 4 ran even last 2 times. Weaver gets 23% going from turf to dirt. Totally fits this group. So it looks like it's between Todd and George Weaver for the top 4 spots. I'm going with a pick 3. I'm taking all 4 of those horses. And then I'm in the second leg, I'm taking my top 3. And same thing with the third leg. Then I'm going to exacta box 2, 3. And like I said, the 1, Rich will not hit the board.
All right. Well, race number 7, we get a red finger for you, Charles, number 1. and then we get a yellow for number 1, too, I guess, too. I'm not quite sure what the red middle finger is for you, Charles, but that's what I think. And that's not from me. That's from Turkey, by the way. All right. I have the 2 horse Skip the Line as my top choice here. Last time out, its speed figure was 7 points clear of the next closest horse. Everyone's got to find a lot more. That one's got to come down a little bit. Skip the Line should remain in good form with a couple of good workouts between starts. Modica, the 4 horse, nice little overlay on that guy. Did check during its last race and still, despite checking early on, managed to run 1 second faster than it did in its prior start. No checks today, and that one should be closing hard at the end. Of course, the horse with the greatest name of all times, Big Rich. Great name. Also was well bet in its debut, Charles. Don't know if you missed that one. Good shot to be up on the pace here today, Charles, and catching that first-time Lasix, going to help Big Rich finish in the money, hopefully in the winner's circle. And then finally, number 3, team captain. Any improvement with the first-time Lasix today could be enough for this horse. Did show some better early pace and fractions in its last 2 workouts before making its second start off the layoff. Look out for this guy, team captain. I'm going to go trifecta 1, 2, 4 with the 2, 4, the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7. And Charles will not be able to live it down tomorrow if we come back and Big Rich is the big winner in lucky race number 7. 2 races to go, starting off in race number 8 to open up the late double.
We'll see. Yeah, race number 8 is 1 mile and 3/8 on the turf. Optional claiming the 35,000. Non-winners of 1. Purse is 91,000. This is for 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 12,000 once, other than maiden, claiming starter, restricted, or even ever or have never won 2 races or claiming price of $35,000.
And despite all of that, to get into this race, they've only won one of them so far. That winner did get the lead, never gave it up, and so went wire to wire, left from post position 2 or 3. So if that race is the trendsetter, if you wear a 2 or 3 and you have speed, you got a shot. It looks like maybe Harry Hood could get to the front with some speed, Charles.
Yeah, when it comes to the simulation speed here, we got the 8. Look at that, 43% chance of getting the lead at the quarter pole. Probably most likely. I definitely believe the 2 will be chasing him, though. When it comes to simulation odds, we have just the 7 at about 3 to 5. We got 5 to 1 morning line. Not too bad overlay. That's all we have.
Yes, and Meyer, also the top par plus horse, and the only par plus horse, and you're also a good C-zone score in along with Harry Hood and Jamestown. Those 3 have a strong C-zone in there, so your C-zone trifecta. Race shape, it does look like right now. You got everybody wants to be middle back in here as well. The 2 with some versatility with Harry Hood. Get to the front with this type, and you usually got a good shot. It looks like when they come out in that opening mile in 3/8, though, it's going to be pretty competitive. Everybody except maybe the 3-horse Cyber Ninja should be tightly packed. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a blob of horses run for the first half mile or so. Turn it on as they come around in the backstretch going into the turn to come on home. The horse that should be able to turn it on the most is Henley's Hood, though Harry's Hood will be right there too. Jamestown, another one with some late speed. This one just looks like they're all going to blob around the race from beginning to end, Charles. Anybody it looks like can win, although Henley's Joy does have about a length total pace advantage in this mile and 3/8 effort. So if that plays out, the 4-horse wins, and then everybody else photos for second, third, and fourth. What do you got?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think this race, they're going to be very packed. I mean, I don't think there's going to be more than 4 lengths separating them all. But I'm going to go with the 2-horse here. Ran second last time out. This horse, I think, will be sitting as close as possible, especially going to be on the rail now. Johnny V's aboard. So you got a lot of positives with this horse. And then my second choice will be the 3. This 3 has got some good kick at the end. Mott gets 20%, with 46 plus days of rest. You got Jose Ortiz aboard. And then the 4 is my third choice here. This horse will be closing also. It has a really good kick. Just has to stay a little bit closer to normal, I think. Third start after a layoff. Maker gets 19% with that angle. Of course, you got Irad aboard, so I believe this horse will be up a little bit closer to normal. And then the 7 is my final choice here. This horse drops in class, does have that tactical speed, could probably even have a shot a little bit of even challenging the leader a little bit. Trainer gets 23% of 46 plus days of rest. Totally fits.
I'm going to start off with the 2-horse 2. Harry Hood is my top choice in race number 8. Top last race speed. Figure 3 points clear of everybody else. Was at that level. This level. It's going to run the same level back to back. And it's also going to tie for the lowest level of its career. I've been running against much stronger stock of horses. First time it ran against this level, won pretty easily. Let's see if we can follow it up with another one. Number 4, Helen's Joy. Second choice for me is our top total pace horse. 5 points clear of everybody else. Third start after a layoff, the most classic of all handicapping angles. Did run better fractions along with 2 and 4 pace numbers last time out. Number 7, Meyer. This guy at the distance, 3 times out. Hasn't won yet, but a couple of seconds in the third. So right there in the mix. Coming off the bench. It's records 50-50 after some time in the barn. Charles, big overlay over there, though. And it is coming from a big drop from a grade 3. And every time it's run at this level, been pretty competitive for the W. And then finally, the 5-horse Jamestown, 3 consecutive speed figure increases in a row. Our good friend Barry Meadows highlights that as an alpha angle 1 that wins at 15% or more. Nice workout between racers after being better with all of its internal numbers from the beginning to the end of its last race. So let's see if it can build on that in start number 2 off the deck. 50-cent trifecta, 2, 4, 2, 4, 7 with the 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. And Christopher D'Souza in that 8th race says, take that 8-horse with the 4 and the 3. Spy Novel, Cyber Ninja, and Helen's Joy. Put them together in an exacta trifecta with the 8-horse being your winner. Last race of the day for you and I to pick a winner. Charles, it's race number 9. We'll be back tomorrow for Gulfstream Park, hopefully without the delay. And without delay, Charles, at least not too long of a one, tell us about race number 9.
Yeah, race number 9, we have 5 furlongs. Of course, it's on that all-weather Tapeta. Maiden claiming of 25,000. Purse is 32,000. This is for just 3-year-olds.
Fantastic. At 5 furlongs on the Tapeta course, we do find speed, and more speed is the way to the winner's circle. In fact, 41% of the time, the horse goes wire to wire. A little bit of a small penalty if you wear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. The best place to be, unquestionably, is to wear an 8 or out. So, Charles, speed, be fast, or be lost, and all the speed scratched out. So we don't know what the hell's going to happen.
Yeah, you don't know. And it's like it's still, they're all basically, remember, they were just 2-year-olds just not even a month ago. So, yeah, who knows when it comes to the speed. I really don't even have any a clue. It could be even your first time starter, the 6.
Mm-hmm.
So look out. When it comes to simulation odds, we have the 2 at just slightly under even money, and we have 3.5 to 1 morning line. And that's all we have right now on the simulation odds.
Yeah, and the 2-horse should also be one that very comfortable with the projected speed of this race. You also have the 4 and the 6, perhaps finding it to their liking. We couldn't really identify a front runner there, but maybe we're going to get one here when we look at the pace of the race. The 3 and the 6, they're going to give it a crack for the first time. The 7 and 9, when they did give it a try, they weren't within 5 lengths of the leader when the race was over. The 1 and 4 and 2, looks like that's probably where we're going to find the rabbit for all of them to run down. And the 2-horse, Adios Now, could be Adios Now when the gates open. It's got about a 1 3/4 length advantage over everybody else. Also has the best late speed in there, Charles. You can't pass what you can't catch. That 2-horse should be on the lead, should be able to hold its lead. And looks like when you look at the total pace, has an 18-point advantage. We haven't seen too many that big, Charles. If total pace really comes to play, the 2-horse should get up to the front and do like the 2-horse did in the opening leg. Just decide how much it wants to win by, Charles. And do you think that's, how much do you think it'll win by?
Well, I don't know how much it's going to win by, but I do like it on top because of all the reasons you just finished talking about. Ran third the last 3 times. Second start with Lasix, which I like that angle. Trainer gets 12%. Third start after a layoff, another great angle. So it's got a lot of positives going for this horse. But I think you're going to have to worry about the first time starter because this horse is has 3 winners from 3 starters, and one of them's a stakes horse. So she throws out quality winning stock. Casey does get 11% with first-time starters. Solid workout pattern there for this horse. So, I mean, I like the 2 on top of the 6 because of the experience, but I wouldn't toss that 6 at all. When it comes to my third choice, the 4 is my third choice. Adds the blinkers today, most likely going to need them. Second start with Lasix. Trainer gets 14% when he takes them from a route to a sprint. And then the 1 cuts back in distance. Second start with Lasix. Trainer gets 12% with that angle. Looks like it fits with this group. But I like my top 2 choices in this race.
I like the 2-horse. That's my top pick here too, Charles. Adios Now, we saw, has all those advantages in the beginning, at the end of the race, total pace in there. Top last race, speed figure to boot, 8 points ahead of everybody else's. And now it's going to make its third start after a layoff. I mean, all of that. Like if there was a checklist of things that you want, it would put a check mark in every one of them. No doubt about it. Let's see. In 1.73 for the 2 to finish in the top 2 fixed here. Reckon it's a slam. I don't know there's a such thing as a slam, but I think it's highly likely indeed to finish in the top 2. I think, what are fixed odds to win if it's 1.73 just to finish in the top 2? That's curious to me as well. I also like the 9-horse Charles Whitby. That one was really well bet in its debut at Tampa Bay Downs. And I know usually horses downgrade a bit if they travel south and east in Florida from Tampa Bay to Gulfstream. But it does have triple bullets, 3 bullet workouts in a row, prepping for its second start. Again, highly thought of in its debut. A lot of great works. Second career start. First time Lasix. I think you're going to see a different horse in Whitby today. Number 6, Cloak and Dagger. That's the one that you like, that first time starter. Mama, as you mentioned, Charles likes to make some winners. Decent workouts too. But Mark Casse, you know what his record is, Charles, this year in debuting in maiden claiming? 0 for 34. I can't bet.
I'm sure it's 0.
Yeah, 0 for 34. Pretty low. Number 1, Go G. Final pick of the day for me. Better fractions in its second career start. And I think cutting back in distance today could be the key to scoring today. I probably put the 6-horse in the winner's circle by bad-mouthing Mark Casse's record. 3-1 for the win. I think that's pretty good, Alan. I don't know that it necessarily win, but certainly checks off a lot of those boxes in there. Maybe a little bit one of those bets where you guys got those Dutching calculators out there. So if you go 3-1 and then basically 8-5, if you put them both in there, if it finishes second, how much would you have to put in to put a profit either way? And that way, if it won, you would get it both ways. Hello, Lolo. How are you today? Thank you. We appreciate the good luck vibes. Here are our total picks for today at Gulfstream Park. In race number 1, the 2-horse ran running away. Race number 2, the 10-horse came home the winner. The 2 finished second. The 8 finished third. It was $131. A surprisingly high payout for that trifecta, Charles. You and I will be back, hopefully delay-free tomorrow for Gulfstream Park. Not quite sure what Thomas and I will do for Foreign Friday. I do know that it'll be later in the afternoon or early evening. So I got some stuff I have to take care of tomorrow morning. So, Charles, before we go out of here, any final thoughts for you?
No, we're all good on this end.
All right, well, race number 3 is about to get cooking. So let's talk about that before we get going. So we can at least fill everybody in on what we see in race 3. Right now, the favorite is the 2-horse, Golden Skull. Only 2-1 in there, Charles. The 3-horse, your pick, is at 5-2. Oh, the 6-horse is in there at 2-1 too. Double Play King is also in there at 2-1. They're all lined up for race number 3. Let's see how it plays out when the gates open. And come on now. Horse number 6 is in. We project the 2 and the 4, Exalt the Charm, to be the ones on the lead. Well, the 1-horse, if you backed Ford Attitude, folks, sorry, your race is over at the start, as it stayed in the gate and came out a little bit late. The 2-horse did get to the lead relatively easily, Mr. Charles. Didn't really look like it had to work very hard. Be curious to see what those fractions are when they post them. On the outside is the 4-horse, Exalted Charm. Oh, no, that's not the 4. That's the 5-horse. That's in second right now. That one is 1 more score. Those two, 23 seconds. Kind of on the slow side there. The 5-horse pulling up pretty sharply next to the 2-horse as those two go through the turn 1, 2. I don't know if the 2-horse is going to have enough to hold off that 5, though, Charles. 5-horse looking pretty solid in there. That 6-horse, the other one that got some favorite status, it's going to go 3 wide. The 2-horse has regained the lead going into the turn. The 5's kind of drifting out a little bit, maybe kind of bumping to 6, keeping that 6 perhaps out of the winner's circle, but I don't think that's what's going to happen, Charles. I think your 6 horse is going to be your winner. It's going to go 6, and then probably the 2 horse. I don't know. The 3 horse is going to try to get him, but an easy win for the 6, 6, 2, 3, 6, 2, and 3 in race number 3. And unfortunately, I don't have the trifecta there. Unfortunately, am I still alive in my pick 5? Did I go 3 horses there? Just dying everywhere in that race with my next pick. And that happens to me all of the time, Charles. That drives me absolutely batty, to be honest with you. I hate that. I would rather it not be in my picks altogether and beat me, not my next pick. It's just a few more dollars and you get it. All right. That wraps it up for today, my friend. No matter what it is you're doing for the rest of this Wednesday, hump day, hopefully your day's not delayed. Everything that you do has God's favor, God's grace, and Charles, that it ends up in
the winner's circle.
Indeed, in the winner's circle. Have a fantastic Wednesday. Charles and I will see you tomorrow.